Hey guys, this is Comets Takes. Here's another astronomy / solar system video. This one is going to be about comets. Comets are objects that have tails streaming behind them and they look like a shooting star, but they're much closer than any star. This is just part 1 of the comet videos. I'll tell you what comets are made of and then go on to the comets. Before I talk about the comets are made of 3 main parts. First is their nucleus, which is their core. And the coma is their cloud, which surrounds the nucleus, making it look big and bright. And next is their tail. They actually have more than one, a blue ion tail and a main dust tail. Their tails always point away towards the sun due to solar winds. So the first comet is Halley's Comet. The famously known Halley's Comet orbits the sun from the Oort cloud. That has a very short orbital period despite its far distance of only 76 years. If we're lucky, we can see it reappear in 2061. It's a periodic comet that just keeps coming back and back. And whenever the Earth passes through Halley's Comet's tail debris, it creates the Orionid meteor shower in the Orion constellation. Next is Hale-Bopp. Which comes from the Oort cloud, too, which has a really large and bright nucleus, which lit up our sky for 19 months in 1996. Now the comet is on its way back out past Pluto's orbit. So one orbit around the sun is actually more than 2,000 years. The next comet, Hyakuate. I think I mispronounced that. Hyakuate is a really special comet because its tail is more than 500 million kilometers. This is also known as the Great Comet of 96, specifically 1996. The first X-ray emitting comet discovered. This comet passed right before Hale-Bopp made its fly past Earth. Due to gravitational pulls, it will be made in 72,000 years when this comet will return. Next is Lovejoy. Lovejoy is one of the craziest comets discovered. Oh, and here's where the story gets fun. The last perihelion, which is the last time it got closest to our sun, it went inside the sun's corona, and they thought it wouldn't survive, but it actually did. Scientists also discovered that this comet releases alcohol, like the alcohol you can find in alcoholic drinks. Next is Encke. Encke, which is a Jupiter family comet that orbits the sun every 3 years. This comet you might actually see more than once in your lifetime because its orbital period is only 3 years. Next is Tempel 1. Tempel 1 is a Jupiter family comet, which means it's from the Jupiter planetary system. So that's as far as it gets from the sun. It has a 5.5-year orbit. A probe was sent to study this comet, which was named Deep Impact. Next is Shoemaker Levy. You're probably asking, Camden, what is this depressing rock? That's because this is all that's left over of the Shoemaker Levy comet. Most of it crashed on Jupiter in 1994. When it passed Jupiter, it got caught in the gravity, so it collided with Jupiter, which broke the comet up totally. Next is Comet Mcnaught. Comet Mcnaught is also known as the Great Comet of 2007. Mcnaught is one of the brightest comets and one of the largest, too. Next is 238P Reed. 238P Reed are main belt comets, which means that comets that orbit between Mars and Jupiter that are located in the asteroid belt are called main belt comets. Discovered by the Cape Peak National Observatory 36-inch telescope in Tucson, Arizona. Next is Giacobini-Zinner. Giacobini-Zinner is actually named after the last names of the 2 astronomers that discovered it. This is a Jupiter family comet that has an orbit of 6 years. Next is Swift-Tuttle. Swift-Tuttle is a periodic comet that takes 133 years to orbit the sun. And it's possible that it will collide with Earth, but that won't happen for hundreds of years, though. When Earth passes through the tail debris, it creates the Perseid meteor shower.